guys excited to be here today? Yeah! All right, so I'm gonna let you guys get started. So we're here today, we're gonna have some students out from 2 different Cajon Valley schools. They'll be visiting the reserve today to learn about different things that they can do to help the land. They'll be interacting with our field instructors with some activities like hiking. They'll be learning about animal tracks. They'll be talking about the watershed and how everything they do here in East County still affects the rest of San Diego. They'll be talking about native and non-native plants and actually get to participate in one of our restoration projects here on the land. All of the students that come to visit participate in at least a 25 to 30-minute hike, which takes them about a mile on the reserve. They get to see all of the coastal sage scrub, lots of animal tracks, scat, of course.
You guys, is this tree dead or alive?
Alive.
Some of you say it's dead. Why do you think it's dead?
Because it's all burnt.
Because it's all burnt. But some of you say it's alive. Why is it alive?
Because the plants, the leaves.
So it's got green leaves, right?
Yes.
And the
Okay. So have any of you guys ever scraped your knee?
Yes.
Yeah. And so it's kind of healing. You can kind of see, this is like it's got its scraped knee from the burn. It's healing. You can come around here and see how the scab is falling off, but how it's healing. Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
I think for the kids to be involved with an adult who has a love of nature is really a great experience, and they get really warm and affectionate. And they feel enlarged by being in a natural place, and they want to know more, they want to experience it, and they get very excited.
So at this spot, students are participating in the bird watching station. They get to use their own pair of binoculars and practice good bird watching skills. It's always fun to see them use their field journals and their field guides to try to identify some of the birds that they've seen. We have been pretty lucky enough to spot hawks hovering right above as the kids are here.
The red-tailed hawk. I saw the red-tailed hawk the other day. He was swirling around.
Crestridge Ecological Reserve itself is a little over 3,000 acres of land. This area that the students are actually going to be visiting today is a small area. And the way we describe it to the students is that if you looked at a map of Crestridge, it would look like a bow tie. The center area where they're visiting today is what we call the wildlife corridor. So this is really the most important part of the reserve where animals are able to move from one side of the reserve to the other safely.
They were like showing us how to do it.
When my students arrive at the reserve and they step off the bus, it's like they've stepped out of the textbook and into learning with real life experiences. You can see their enthusiasm as they're filing off and lining up, meeting their field instructors. They make their way and work their way through the reserve to different areas, and I can listen to them bubbling over with enthusiasm and with interest and with questions. Something that you don't always see when you're in your classroom teaching science concepts from a science textbook. So this is real life to them, hands in the dirt, planting, digging, building trails, hiking. They always say, this is the best trip I've ever been on.
So these students are talking about the food web, which is something that we try to discuss as we're walking along the trail, but sometimes the kids need a little more concrete evidence. So we talk to them about tracks, how there are signs that the animals have been here. When they leave scat, they get to look more closely at the scat and see the animals are eating other plants, they might be eating other animals. It's always really exciting for students to make the connection themselves when they've talked about it at the table, and then they go out on the trails and actually see real tracks and real scat.
What's one major difference between these two?
The mountain lion.
Yeah.
That the mountain lion does not have spikes on the...
Good, yeah. The mountain lion can retract its claws like a house cat, like our house cats can. The dog can't. Its claws are always out. So when we find a track on the ground and we see little claws in it, our first guess could be a dog. I think this is really valuable to bring kids out. They don't always get a chance to be outside, but then to also learn about their habitat here in San Diego and the wonderful things that are in their backyard.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Beautifully.
What are you guys planting?
We're planting purple needle grass.
I've spoken to so many other teachers who've had the opportunity to come to the reserve with their classes. And once they've come one year, they continue to come year after year after year. Those teachers, as I have integrated what they've learned and their experiences at the reserve into their regular curriculum. Not just science, it goes cross-curricular. And I hear stories time after time after time.
It's nice to get them out here and to think critically about their environment, think about the people that would have lived here, the animals that are here, and how everything is interconnected and how we can affect that and how it affects us. And most directly, it affects us by being extremely happy at the end of the day. Everybody leaves with smiles, and that's the best part.
You just saw some of the activities that students participate in with Earth+Discovery+Institute. Students who take part in our programs connect to nature as they explore the outdoors and discover the wonders of nature through science and hands-on activities in the habitat. Students learn that they can make a positive difference in the environment and also in their neighborhoods. They've done that here by building new trails and working in our grasslands. Kids are always so proud to show off their work and share it with other people. We encourage you to come out, enjoy our trails, and see some of their hard work firsthand.